Jim Jensen, Michelle Marsh, Warner Wolf with sports, and Mr. G with weather. The first team. This is Channel 2 News at 6.
That's, no.
One more thing to tell you about Wall Street got caught up in a web of intrigue today. It was Spider-Man's web, and he spun it through the stock exchange today, momentarily bringing business to a halt. Spider-Man and his friends muscled in on the big boys of the big board to introduce Marvel Comics to the exchange. Investment experts say Marvel is a hot property, with comic book sales up despite the recession. Captain America and the Incredible Hulk were also on hand to help Marvel go public.
WNBC TV, this is Live at 5 with Sue Simmons and Tony Guida, Al Roker's weather, and Len Berman's sports shorts.
Among the faces at 5 tonight, the longtime comic book favorite Spider-Man. He paid a visit to Wall Street today. It was a way to promote the fact that Marvel Entertainment, the comic book publisher, went public today. Shares were initially offered at 16.5. They were actively trading at 18 7/8 this afternoon. Marvel Entertainment Group is the largest publisher of comic books in North America, with sales more than twice of its nearest competitor.
From Fox 5, this is the 10 o'clock news with John Rowland, Cora Ann Mahalik, Nick Gregory with weather, and Carl White with sports.
Well, the New York Stock Exchange welcomed a superhero today. Spider-Man crawled in for the debut of his comic book company's stock. Marvel Comics opened at $18.25 a share, $2 higher than the offered price. And the web slinger's favorite stock closed up 3/8.
Channel 11, this is the news at 10.
Back here at home, a sticky-fingered new player was climbing the walls of the New York Stock Exchange today. Spider-Man causing quite a stir in the frenetic, button-down nerve center of Wall Street. Marvel Entertainment, which dominates comic book sales in this country, went public today, and the star character was met with superhero status.
This is Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Greg Hurst, Roz Abrams, Sam Champion with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
And look what crawled off the pages of Marvel comic books. It's Spider-Man. He spun a web of wonder around the Wall Street area today. His mission? To take stock of those interested in his company, the Marvel Entertainment Group. As of today, the company is listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Finally, speaking of stocks, Spider-Man and his colleagues at Marvel Entertainment, the comic book publisher, cavorted at the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. This to mark the first day of trading of Marvel stock. Investors who were able to buy some of the new issue from their broker paid $16.50 a share. When it opened for trading, it topped $18, and many who bought at the initial offering price sold immediately for a quick profit, which is why some people say getting shares of a hot new issue at the offering price is something to marvel at.
But something was climbing on Wall Street yesterday. Spider-Man, the superhero and other Marvel comic characters, entertained stockbrokers with their heroics. They were making the start of Marvel Comics going public.
8 minutes after the hour, time to check in with Mark McEwen. We don't see that kind of activity down there very often.
I grew up on Marvel Comics. Spider-Man, the Hulk, Fantastic Four.
Was he your hero?
My hero was the flaming torch. Flame on. I used to like the guy that could fly around. What can I tell you? Good morning, everybody. Before we
And finally today, superheroes may be fictional, but Wall Street apparently believes they are profitable. Marvel Comics, the company that brought us Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, went public yesterday. Dave Monsees has that story.
Now, really? Spider-Man peering down on the floor of the NYSE? Well, what we have here is the webbed Avenger out there hawking close to 5 million shares in a comic book company that's climbed the walls from $40 to $70 million in sales just in the 4 years from 1986 to 90. It claims a 51% market share competing with 42 other publishers. Actually, Marvel won't benefit that much from the offering. It doesn't need it. The more than $80 million expected to be raised will go to a litany of companies, all under the umbrella of Revlon chairman Ron Perlman. Terry Stewart heads Marvel.
We discovered very quickly that the market could absorb more product and different types of product. So as it became more successful, we produced more books and more different types of books, and it sort of fed on itself.
Marvel is hundreds of different comics, from Spider-Man to Captain America to X-Men and on and on. One comic book these days can sell for $1.50, and collector's issues go for thousands.
Consumer good, it's very understandable. It's a throwback to their youth. There's some warmth, hokiness to it. Everybody's happy with it.
Marvel churns out heroes by the hundreds. Just pick your favorite champion of justice or villain. Ah, yes, kids buy comics in droves, then grow up to literally buy stock in their favorite hero. Dave Monsees, CNBC FNN, New York.
Now, Carol Martin, Brian Williams, Dr. Frank Field with health and weather, the first team. This is Channel 2 News at noon.
And something to marvel at on the stock exchange this morning. It's business as usual when the stock market opened today, but that changed pretty quickly as the New York Exchange welcomed its newest stock to the big board. Spider-Man and friends of all people were on hand to introduce the Marvel Comics stock. Investment experts say this is a hot property with comic book sales up despite the recession. Captain America and the Incredible Hulk also muscled their way onto the floor of the exchange, but nobody seemed to mind a little break in the buying and selling.
It is time now to have a look at the financial world and get the latest from Wall Street from Jan Hopkins, who's live at the New York Stock Exchange. Jan?
Thanks, Reed. Stocks are slightly lower today. They're failing to build on yesterday's 9-point gain. Bank stocks, which were the big winners yesterday, are currently mixed. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 2.5 points at a level of 29.88. Volume today heavy, 104 million shares traded so far. Advancing issues are ahead of declining issues by a 6 to 7 margin. The broader and the secondary markets are all lower. Marvel comic character Spider-Man was on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange this morning. He was promoting the first day of trading in Marvel Entertainment shares. That stock was issued at $16.50 a share. It is now up 3/8 from its opening price, and it's trading at $18.18 5/8. Marvel is currently the big board's most active stock.
Hovering near opening levels, an unusual visitor hovered above the floor of the New York Stock Exchange today. Spider-Man was there to herald the first day of trading for Marvel Comics stock. Marvel is one of the most active issues on the big board today. The stock was issued at $16.15 a share, but it opened for trading at $18.25. It's now up 5/8 at $18 7/8.
Live from the world's financial capital, New York City, this is Moneyline with Lou Dobbs.
Good evening. I'm Beverly Shook, sitting in for Lou Dobbs. New stock issues are exploding. Initial public offerings are hot in the 90s, partly because of Wall Street's habits in the 80s. Kitty Pilgrim has the story from New York.
Wall Street is spreading its web to capture a lot of new stock. Marvel Entertainment Group, home of Spider-Man, went public Tuesday at $16.15 a share and closed at 18 5/8.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Stock market is crazy enough to make anybody start climbing the walls, but today it was the amazing Spider-Man who was climbing the walls of Wall Street. He was accompanied by some crime-fighting colleagues such as Captain America. The visit to the stock exchange was a promotional gimmick to mark the start of Wall Street trading of Marvel Entertainment Group. They publish Marvel Comics.
WRC-TV Washington. This is News 4, live at 5, with Susan Kidd, Peter Ford, weather with meteorologist Bob Ryan, and George Michael Sports. Now, live at 5.
The amazing Spider-Man webbed his way into the New York Stock Exchange today. Spider-Man's visit to the floor marks the beginning of trading in the shares of Marvel Entertainment Group, the company that prints Spider-Man comic books. Marvel is the largest publisher of comic books in North America, and in case you haven't picked up a comic book lately, Spider-Man's other superhero friends include the Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and the X-Men.
Now, from News 7. Your 24-hour news source. This is News 7 at 11.
We leave you tonight with a different mood. The Dow Jones Industrial Average snapped a 3-day rally today despite some hijinks at the New York Stock Exchange to hustle certain shares. As traders went about their business, they were being surveilled by a superhero. Spider-Man appeared at the New York Stock Exchange and exchanged a few high-profile handshakes with some astonished traders. The wall crawler did his thing, scrambling down to the trading floor, and Spider-Man and his friends were there to call attention to the public stock offering by Marvel Entertainment. They, of course, the comic book people. But they didn't stop making money.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
First Spider-Man and Carlisle, two institutions.
I'll take it. WRC-TV, Washington. This is News 4 Today with Linda Lopez. Weather with meteorologist Tom Curine. George Michael Sports. And the latest from Metro Traffic. Now, News 4 Today.
Business news this morning. Business on Wall Street will return to the routine today. Yesterday, a visit from the amazing Spider-Man entertained the traders. Spider-Man's visit to the floor marked the beginning of trading in the shares of Marvel Entertainment Group. That's the company that prints Spider-Man comic books. Marvel is the largest publisher of comic books in North America.
This is Eyewitness News with Floyd Calvert, Steve Deschler's weather, Tim Weigel with sports, and the Eyewitness News team.
But the New York Stock Exchange was safe for democracy today. Spider-Man and other superheroes visited the exchange as the parent company of Marvel Comics began offering shares in the company.
This is Channel 5, your 24-hour news source.
The amazing Spider-Man webbed his way into the New York Stock Exchange today. His visit to the trading floor marks the beginning of trading in the shares of Marvel Entertainment Group, Incorporated. Marvel Entertainment Group is the largest publisher of comic books in North America, with sales more than twice those of its nearest competitor.
You're watching KCAL-TV, Norwalk, Los Angeles, California 9. Now, First 9 News.
A creepy crawler invaded Wall Street on Tuesday, causing a bit of commotion at the New York Stock Exchange. Traders on the floor looked up to find the comic book character Spider-Man scaling the walls. The occasion? Well, he was ushering in the first day of stock trading for Marvel Comics. Later, Spider-Man was also joined by a few of his buddies. All the while, though, trading never slowed a bit.
Now, Southern California's first 2-hour morning newscast. Barbara Beck, Carlos Amasqua, Mark Krisky with traffic and weather. KTLA Morning News.
And if you don't like the way your stockbroker is doing business, you may want to make a call to this man, Spider-Man, that is. The web-headed wonder crawled on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange yesterday to publicize the first trading day for Marvel Comics stock. Spidey must have captured some hearts and minds in his PR web because the stock closed up 3/8 at 18 5/8. And who knows, may just trade in those tights for some pinstripes. Don't get any ideas out here. You guys don't want to be in tights.
Absolutely. Well, whatever spurs the market, you know? Whatever works.
Whatever works. Morning, Mark.
From WHDH-TV Boston, News 7 at 5.
Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average losing almost 7 points at the close, 2983.90. Volume today, nearly 183 million shares. Wall Street super traders took a backseat to a superhero today. Spider-Man did not exactly climb the walls, but he did grab traders' attention as he perched above the floor. There were no signs of arachnophobia when Spider-Man dropped to the human level, if you will, greeting traders and the president of the New York Stock Exchange. Notice how many people don't even pay attention. This is going on. The visit was part of a promotion marking Marvel Comics stock being traded on the New York Exchange. Look at that.
Things move fast down there. I don't think they had a chance to take a look up in the sky.
Don't even break stride.
Now, Chet Curtis, Natalie Jacobson, Mike Lynch, and Dick Albert, bringing a world of news to New England. This is News Center 5 at 6.
And traders on the New York Stock Exchange received a lesson today in supernatural skills from Spider-Man, a chance to improve their abilities to negotiate the web of Wall Street or learn the art of wall walking. The visit by Spider-Man and his fellow superheroes coincided with the start of trading for Marvel Entertainment Group. But it was an uneventful day otherwise. On the floor, the Dow fell nearly 7 points, closing at 2983.90 and a volume of almost 183 million shares.
Live from WBZ TV4. This is the 7:30 report.
Finally tonight, our parting shot, a superhero on Wall Street. That's right, Spider-Man dropped into the floor of the New York Stock Exchange this morning. He wasn't chasing away the criminals here, but marking the beginning of trading for Marvel Entertainment Group stocks. While it didn't go through the roof, Marvel was one of the 5 most active big board issues today.
Jim Boyd, Susan Burke, and Bob Copeland, bringing a world of news to New England. This is News Center 5 Eye Opener.
And Spider-Man spun a web on Wall Street. That story also next. And finally in business news this morning, a stock tip. Comics. That's right, comics. Marvel Comics had discovered an interesting thing. They can raise prices without driving away buyers. In fact, comic book prices are expected to climb to $1.50 by next year. Yesterday, Marvel Entertainment Group began offering more shares of its stock, and to celebrate, they sent Spider-Man to the New York Stock Exchange. It had its desired effect. Marvel Entertainment Group was one of the most actively traded stocks yesterday. And that's business news.